would Golden State win the NBA Finals if Draymond Green played Game 5? I think I have a Draymond Green element. I could be so wrong because I might not have cut it. But
you
here,
need to
take a
cut
look.
it.
Take a look at Draymond's words during the NBA Finals if he had played Game 5.
I think I have strong belief that if I play Game 5, we win. But I didn't because I put myself in a situation where I wasn't able to play. I think my teammates fought, and didn't play well, and still with 6 minutes to go down 6 points, but continued to battle and battle. And it's on me to come out and help that battle.
So, Francis, we have to take a side because there's no fun in debating things if we're going to, look at both sides equally, even though that is, speaking of, the objective way to do it. Do you believe, yes or no, the Golden State Warriors would have won the NBA Finals in either Game 5, Game 6, or Game 7 if Draymond had played Game 5?
I like to be a fan of great sporting moments and great sporting stories.
Right.
So I'm going to protect the image of LeBron James blocking Iguodala in my own mind and say that I don't think they would. Now, it would have been much more difficult for Cleveland. We talked about it tactically. It was amazing when we brought tactics into the NBA. I loved it. Best moment of my TYT Sports career. Kyrie Irving finding space, utilizing the fact that Draymond Green was not the safety net behind Klay Thompson or Steph Curry and blocking out that space that Kyrie was trying to find his way into. Yep. It would have forced Kyrie Irving to go even beyond what he was already doing. It would have forced him to play outside of his comfort zone. Kyrie Irving's comfortable playing in chaotic environments. He does a very good job of maneuvering his body.
In Game 5.
In Game 5.
He had to do it in Game 6 and 7, though.
He had to do it in Game 6 and 7, and he did do it. And that's the difference, is it set Golden State's game plan a different direction. And it allowed for the Cleveland Cavaliers to gain an upper hand. I think, more so than performance in general, it was a mental thing. I think that Golden State mentally would have been more stable going forward. I think once they lost that game without Draymond Green, it set them back a little bit. But as you rightfully so just pointed out, he was there. He had a phenomenal Game 7. He was easily Golden State's best player.
He was easily going to win. If Golden State won that game, he would have been the Finals MVP unless the voters decided not because of the suspension. It would have been impossible. It would have been literally impossible to give it to the backcourt.
Yeah.
However, that's a good point you bring up because Draymond Green is the mental advantage of the Golden State Warriors. He's not the heart and soul of that team for no reason. He's there. He's flexing in your face. Again, I like Draymond Green, so that's going to show, even though he kicks guys in the nuts. He has a mental warfare about him, which is very respectable because it's an old school style of play. And he will get in your ear and he will tell you what he did to your mother the night before. And he'll call LeBron a bitch, which obviously LeBron does not like. We've gotten that proven at this point. And then he wasn't there for Game 5. But again, because they won in Game 6 and Game 7, I have to think that the Cavs would have gone on and won the series regardless because LeBron played like Superman, even when Draymond was on the floor, and Kyrie played like Robin, kind of in a way, Batman and
Superman and Robin joining forces?
I really don't like Batman.
Could happen.
You can tell I really just don't like Batman that much. And his offense still trumped Klay Thompson's great defense, even with the safety nets in Game 6 and Game 7. But even more importantly was that mental advantage did flip because LeBron James turned into a bad, bad man. And he was, it was something we've never seen out of him before, man. I mean, he was really in the head of at least Steph Curry. And I'm not making excuses for the unanimous MVP. The argument for Golden State winning that game is that they just close out the series. There is no Game 6 and Game 7. And that's what I think a lot of people are going to be debating down in the comments section, is because it's not so much just the fact that he didn't play, it's the distraction. And I think some players are great at toning those out, but you can't say they don't hear them. These players know what's going on around them. So the NBA handled it so wrong in the way that it loomed over his head for a day or two, and the Warriors, and you have to plan. Well, if Draymond's playing, we got to plan for Draymond playing. But if he's not, we have to literally not scrap our game plan altogether because they've only played, I think, 1 or 2 games without Draymond Green in the regular season. So it was an unfair curveball thrown at the Warriors.
Here's the thing, Jay. If there was any question about Golden State's championship last season, when there was no Kyrie, no Kevin Love, they had the ability now to prove that they're a team that can overcome adversity, that they are rightfully so one of the best teams to have ever played the game. Right. When you lose a star player, how many teams have lost star players? How many teams have had to overcome that adversity? Because basketball, it's an interesting sport because there's so many games. You have to deal with injuries, you have to deal with suspensions. So I think in this situation, it gave Golden State the platform to prove to everyone, we're the best. You can take away our star player. We might lose that game,
overcome.
But when we come back...
Where was the unanimous MVP? Where was Klay
Exactly.
Thompson?
So I think it's more of a...
Where was Harrison Barnes?
I think it's, if I'm going to be honest, and I will gladly lie there in the comment section and take the shots.
Snow Angel in the comment section.
Yeah, I'll take the shots. I think that it's an excuse. I think that it's an excuse that a lot of Golden State fans will state that if we had Draymond Green, we would have won. But again, and that asterisk that people keep saying, maybe this season is an asterisk. Well,
they won without Steph Curry.
Exactly. How many asterisks are you going to put next to the finals last year? How many asterisks are you going to put throughout the NBA history that teams have to overcome these certain decisions that might not always go your way, but great teams will rise above it? If this was Game 5 and there was no Draymond Green and Cleveland Cavs won the game and they won the series in that game and Draymond Green had no opportunity to try and right the wrongs, then I'd say, okay, maybe you have an argument. But they had plenty of other games to bounce back. Draymond Green came back. He came back and he played out of his mind. The best we've seen Draymond Green probably play.
Probably was in Game 7.
Probably was Game 7 when he had the opportunity to do it. But his other teammates didn't rise up. So where's the excuse for that? There's no excuse. I think it plays into one of the best sporting moments.
If you want there to be more excuses, there's excuses.
Oh, there's always going to be
excuses. You want an excuse?
Give me an excuse.
Oh, Andrew Bogut got injured. Do you want another excuse? Iggy injured his back. Do you want another excuse?
LeBron hit both nuts.
Luke Walton decided to sign with the Lakers, so he wasn't locked in.
I think overall it just plays into the beauty that was that finals.
I can make excuses for every team in the league for
Yeah,
days.
you could. And that's why we love sports fans, because Jason, no one makes excuses better than Knicks fans.
I don't make excuses. I want you to loathe with me. Hate with me. Come and hate.
And comment with me.
And comment with me. Like, favorite, subscribe to these videos. They go a long way. Thank you so much for tuning in.